This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
So let's say you're looking to make a change in your living or workspace, and you've got some ideas. You're not really sure the direction you want to go, and you have a couple of things floating around in your mind, be it color, layout, furniture, maybe the kitchen, the cabinets, maybe changing the appliances or the way they function. We can get help with that, an interior designer. But the question is, why should you hire an interior designer? Can we do a lot of this stuff on our own? We're gonna dig into that today and look at it from all different angles. She happens to be an amazing interior designer. I've gotten so much insight along the way from Diane Rosen, who is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing terrific. Thank you.
I wanted to, before we start here, I want to share with you that I spoke with a furniture store owner. They have 2 locations. I also have a marketing company, so it was a referral. And I had a conversation on Sunday, but a lot of my conversation about helping this gentleman with his business was piloted by the information I learned from you when it comes to buying furniture. I'm not even kidding. It was almost like, I'm channeling Diane Rosen during this conversation of the things that you've shared with us, the approach that somebody might have when they walk into a furniture showroom, what they should be looking for. I just wanted to share that with you because I took away that info.
Well, thank you.
And next up, eventually, I need new furniture too. Why should we hire an interior designer? What's the difference of toughing it out on our own, kind of figuring things out, going to the home store or wherever, buying that stuff ourselves? Maybe look at it both ways. If you had somebody to help you with it, or if you did it on your own.
I'd like to consider myself a solution provider. And if thinking about, because I always start with a conversation, and maybe you need just a little direction. Maybe you need a better color for a room. It could be a favorite picture. Where should I hang it? Can I really do this on my budget? And can I shop online? These are questions I hear and receive when I introduce what can be done and what you would like to do. In the best idea, and most homeowners, they jump into a remodel to keep it simple, order a few things online, juggle a couple of contractors, skip the planning, and before they know it, the budget's blown, the layout feels off, and the quick update turns into a full-time headache. So my positioning of a conversation before you even begin is to have a plan. And what is it that you are needing most? Because it's my focus to give you your vision. Is it the room needs, there's something off in the room when you walk in. You don't understand what it is and why you don't like it, but there's something going on that you need to feel to make it better. And that's where we start. It could be a piece of furniture. It could be the color of the wall. It could be maybe you need more lighting. Maybe, what do you like? So that's how I begin with the conversation. And we sit and talk about what you would really, really like, because after all, it is your home and it is your vision. And it's my accomplishment to guide you to get you where you need to go and show you what's out there. Something that could really help you out.
I want to share with you something I believe I shared when we first met. And this is my answer of why you hire somebody. I renovated my backyard. Now, to me, it doesn't matter if it's outside, inside. There's work that needs to be done. There's design work, figuring it all out. So I figured I'd manage it myself. And of course, had a swimming pool company come in. I had somebody take out some of the scrubby trees, graded the land. I'm geeky, so I trenched some wires. It was fun and everything, except Except doing that work while working 3 jobs, smaller children. Side note, this is only 10 years ago, by the way, not 30 years or anything like that. I gave myself an ulcer, sent me to the hospital. I'm not exaggerating. Like on my birthday, I was like, I can't do this anymore. My blood pressure's up. It's normally normal. All of this and the whole renovation of trying to figure it out and hiring people and blah, 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 I had legit ulcer. So I will never do that again. Whether it's outside, inside, hire somebody to help you with it. We don't realize how much stress is involved in all of this, making those decisions. You think you can do it alone. You really can, especially the bigger projects. But that was my wake up to that's why people like you exist.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm not a true story.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad you recovered.
All good now.
Yeah. But, it is really discussing what you're wanting, what you need. I always start with pick your favorite piece in this room, or are we developing and expanding the walls? So you need a plan, and that's the whole point. If you have a plan, you've got a guide, and you don't need to do everything at the same time because, of course, let's talk about budget. And the most important part is to making sure that you're comfortable with what you can do, with what you need to do, and within the budget required. And yes, today things have gotten a lot more challenging, dollar wise and so forth. But always choosing, most people will underestimate the budget because there's always more detail. And in that process, that's what's always lined up. I give a complete outline of what's wanted, the cost of that, how timeline, what it would be. So you know this up front. So that's part of the conversation.
Thank you for saying that. Let's stop right there. Thank you. Because as I look back at that project that I did, there were a lot of things that were floating out there in terms of the cost. Well, guess what? As you're doing this work or having the work done, there's stress that's involved in that, just alone of not knowing the full scope of the project. And other things will present. Somebody goes, oh, by the way, and it could be something interior where somebody comes in and says, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, we got to take out that wall. What? There's more expense there. If you hire somebody, they would know what the expectations are. And then you have that peace of mind. But I forgot about that. Yeah, things would be presenting left and right. I'd get texts at work. And so, yes, you have a scope of the project. So important.
Yeah, and the other half of this is that I have contractors that I have worked with for a very long time. And in the context of a contractor, they build. They can offer ideas, but that does not always regulate to what you're wanting. So I work with my contractors as a team. They know what you as the client wants and how are we going to achieve that. The contractor will then know the plan because I give them the draft. You will get a draft and a drawing of what this will look like. And in that context, I also learned from the contractor the shape of things. Are we starting from the floor? What condition is the floor? Does it need to be refurbished? Does it need to be rebuilt? What from day one? And you also are as a client, you're very much a part of all this, so you understand the process as well. So a lot of times you can think, oh, I'm just going to call Uncle Harry. He's done this for years. He knows what he's doing. Maybe, and maybe not.
Okay, let's go there now.
Okay.
To your point, in that backyard renovation, you're bringing up all these memories. Blew out a deck. It was a big wood deck. It was, kind kind of rotting. The guy that put it in there was a contractor back in the day. So he had the crews come in, this whole monstrosity, blew that whole thing out, had a friend's son come in and put a Trex deck in. And it was nice. Stairs go this way and that way. It was his first major project. I appreciated it. It was, priced right. I helped him out with some of the stuff. However, um, the stringers on the stairs, what are they normally? Is it 8 inches?
Well, that's a little high, but yeah.
Whatever it is, if it's 6 or whatever, they're usually the same as you go up the stairs, right?
Hmm.
Well, when you get to the top step in this situation, he didn't measure properly. So we go from, whatever it is, 6 inches,
Oh, yes.
get to the
That's a
top,
problem.
get to the top. It was like a 2 inch.
Mm,
So every time I had people over, and by the way, just when you get to the top step, be careful. And it is what it is. I had to live with it.
mhm.
But to your point, when you get Uncle Vinny or whoever to come and take care of it, doesn't mean they know what they're doing all the time. And one other thing I want to say, Diane, about somebody like yourself, you work for the client. You're not trying to upsell and tell somebody, hey, you know what? You may want to go for that upgraded cabinet because on the back end, you're making money off of it in terms of the sale of the cabinets, whatever it might be. That you're not benefiting from that. You're just
No,
making suggestions. Here's plan A at this cost, plan B, however you want to work it. But you don't have other interests involved here. You are working specifically for the client, right?
correct.
Mm,
Absolutely. And like I said, in what's really keystone, you get a complete draft drawing of which you'll see what the result will be,
mm,
but also, most important, the contractors that will be doing the electric, the plumbing, the carpentry, whatever's been required. We work as a team. I say that more than a few times because people need to understand, once again, the final outcome and within the budget established, that'll happen. If you take a left turn or a right turn and want to do something else, quite frankly, you're on your own.
yes. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I forget,
And
you're also the safety net. So when things
uh-huh.
present, we go back to you. Diane, I can't believe what happened. Or the contractor said
Hmm.
this. What do you think? Should we do this?
Uh-huh.
There's peace of
Absolutely.
mind, i.e., less stress, knowing you've
Uh-huh.
got somebody that's got your back.
Yes.
Hmm.
My job is to take care of the detail. Your job is to understand and enjoy the understand the plan, and really, really enjoy the outcome. So everything is working for you. I would say if you get if you want to do and you want to buy something online, furniture wise, I always say, please, please be careful. If you see something, because furniture is a world unto itself, and where it comes and how it's shipped. Um, if you're going through me, I know things will be complete. And this has actually happened. Someone actually wanted to and did order online a product that came in broken.
Hmm.
Um, I went, you know, I will help you, but you're going to have to take care of that because it's under your budget. It's not under my budget. It's what you wanted to do. It wasn't, and it was corrected. I really wound up helping her because she had no clue how to return, fix, get the adjustment needed, so forth and so on. So I'm just saying, I'm all about shopping online, but please, please know what you're buying.
Mm. I was amazed to hear from this furniture store owner that people buy furniture regularly online. Like, what? Like, I can't imagine doing that. Even if it's the super discount, you don't know what it looks like. Have you touched the fabric? Have you sat in it? Is it me? What are your thoughts?
Well, our culture has been regrouped, and
Yeah.
hey, that's great. I always say you do want to invest your money literally where you sit. We've talked about this before. And, is this going to be in your TV room? Where's the TV? There's your anchor. And from that position of, you're going to sit there every day? Is this something you want to take a nap on? If we're just talking about an end table, I've even had issues with end tables coming in broken. Please just be careful of what you're purchasing. And just because you love the style online, may not work for the function you have going on.
Mm,
So I work as a team with my contractors and, of course, the client themselves. We're in contact all the time, not to bother you or harass you, but keep you updated. This is where we are. And, shipping is an issue. I'm very straightforward, especially when things are purchased out of the country. And shipping has taken a long time
mm.
to come across the water.
And yeah, you could save some money. People buy furniture from Amazon. It still
Uh-huh.
blows my mind. I bought furniture 3 years ago, and I kind of regret the purchase because it was done on a whim, and I didn't look at the fabric, how it was designed. It kind of served its purpose, but I should have been more intentional. I was in a rush. It was sold a house quickly. I was like, oh, need something. But actually sat in it. I looked at it, and I still somewhat regret the purchase, and probably going to buy something else soon because it's just it's not wearing that great.
Yeah.
But imagine buying it online. You don't know what the fabric feels like. You don't know the quality unless you've seen it someplace and then you buy it. So
Right.
that's I guess different. But you're right. We're I call it the Amazon world. Press the button
Hmm.
and it shows up at your doorstep.
And
So
that's great. Wait till you have to return it.
yeah, yeah. You know, I when I have to return something that's 5 inches by 10 inches and go to the UPS store and drop it on the counter and open up my phone and
Uh-huh.
not a big deal. Now make that a couch.
Uh-huh.
How do you do that? I don't know.
It's,
Mm,
it can get complicated.
right, right.
And that's the whole point of having someone as myself work with you.
Mm,
I can sidestep through a lot of experience. I've been doing this for over 30 years. And over time, as styles have changed and cultures have changed, but basics have not. And sitting in a comfortable chair, I bring you we've got two great design studios in St. Louis where you can literally test drive what you want. And we really work with fabrics and colors and basically invest your money where you're going to be using it and sitting in it the most. Yeah.
mm. What else in the time we have left? What can you tell us about hiring a designer? What are some of the things that maybe we're not seeing? Uh, just the benefits that are involved.
Well, a lot of times you have, and I do mostly residential, although I've done some commercial, but mostly residential. And a lot of times you have things that you still enjoy, and I'm going to reference this to photos and pictures that you can take. Yes, you can enjoy the photo. Let's rework the frame. Let's make it updated to what you want to have. Maybe we can shift it to a different perspective.
Mm,
There are so many fun, interesting, and colorful ways let's just still enjoy what you have. You have family photos. Had one project where and it was a big wall, it was a lower level, but it was an undulating wall, one of those walls that have a soft curve and shape to it. And I said, "Do you have any photos?" And 2 days later, she showed up with 4 boxes full of photos.
wow.
And I went, "Okay, well, it came out great. I used a product that would hung, and I did all the photos pretty much the same. So we've got some consistency of what they are. But I used a product for a backing so that futuristically, if you wanted to add or subtract, take that photo off the wall, take that picture off the wall, you can without destroying the wall.
Mm,
So, no, I did not use hammer and nail.
Wow.
And I said, well, time goes on, people change, children grow up, dogs pass, whatever. And showing this in a perspective. So, I showed her, I said, you come to a point in time where you want to change something out, you can just gently lift it and put it someplace else.
Mm.
Doesn't destroy the wall.
See, I'm assuming that there are products out there, and if we wanted to be intentional and look at them for them, we could find them. However, there's many of them. How do you know which one is going to work? You
Right.
make the investment, you pay money, let's say you do it on yourself, you're alone, you put the groupings of the photos, you make sure that they're perfectly, and then they fall off because you didn't vet out the product. You've already done that work. You already know
Yeah.
what's going to work.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Exactly. So
Wow.
that's just one example. And even a lamp. I mean, one real quick example, she had her granddad, or well, actually great granddad's rocker, which she wanted to use. And I said, do you have a photo of it or do you have any parts of it? Well, same gal, delightful lady.
Hmm.
She came in with a box and the chair was in pieces. It was so old, the arms and so I remade, and I have a great supplier vendor who is an excellent craftsman, and we recreated the rocker for her, and with the same kind of finish and stain and everything. Okay, we patched it up pretty good, but
Wow.
and made some new parts, but it worked quite well, and she was very pleased.
Wow. You make it fun. That's I'm not detecting any stress here. My backyard reno and the ulcer and everything. It was sort of fun to a point.
I enjoy it. It's a challenge. I enjoy the challenge.
Mm,
It's like, how can we take that and how can we, this rocker was literally in a box. The runners, everything was separate. But I thought, okay, let's see if we can put this together. I think of it as a challenge, something that I know you'll enjoy at the end of the day.
sure.
And I think it is fun.
Well, you see what we don't see because this is your experience, your training, everything. You're going to see things that nobody else is going to see. And that can be saving you money, saving you stress, heartache, and all of that. Best of all, you can do this virtually for anybody, anywhere. Because of today's technology, photos and videos. Best way to find you, Diane, how do we do that?
I have my website, which is www.dianeroseninteriors.com.
Thank you for today. Thank you for these podcasts, all the insight, all the information. They're online. Go search them out. Search her name, Diane Rosen Podcast Interior Designer, if you want some insight. And certainly you're always available to help us and relieve stress too.
Yeah,
Thank you again. Really appreciate it. Wonderful working with you.
always good to work with you.
You too. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.